This video is brought to you by NordVPN. Get 75% off via the link below. Today we'll be taking a look at some cases of localization and translation from the Dragon Quest series, a RPG series that has a history of more than 30 years and continues to be one of the most celebrated RPG franchises to have come from Japan. First appearing in Dragon Quest VIII is a reoccurring gag that's been remembered by fans for its humorous and quirky nature. In the game is a catchphrase that comes up at certain points where characters, specifically female ones, will be described as being Voom. What adds to this is the stark contrast between this term and the very medieval inspired nature of the game, and of course its distinctively Japanese origins. In the first town that you go to upon embarking on your quest, you'll be able to find a NPC who is a young girl and says, "My dad says women like Miss Jessica are really Voom." The voluptuous Jessica is one of the main characters of the game and one of the playable party members. She lives in the town and you will soon join up with her during this section of the game. The girl then adds, "What do you think he means? I wonder if I can be Voom." The term Voom has been traced back to the 1954 American song Voom by Art Carney.
She's a cutie, she's a beauty, she's a wow.
Over time, Voom got shortened to just Voom and is used to describe something that is exciting or physically attractive. The term became especially well known following a popular series of Renault commercials in the early 2000s featuring footballer Thierry Henry. Due to its being released around the same time, it is possible that these commercials played a part in the catchphrase being included in the game. You can find the phrase mentioned when interacting with the same NPC while she is sleeping, where she is curiously so compelled by it that she utters the words while sound asleep. Then it gets brought up again during a much later section of the game where King Clavius is trying to convince the prince to marry Princess Medea. Whilst at first he says he has no interest in getting married, this soon changes when the king describes the princess's beauty and how Voom she is.
I hear Princess Medea is, well, Voom.
However, the reason that the channel is taking a look at this relates to how all of this is instead in the Japanese version of the game, and not just Dragon Quest VIII, but other games in the franchise too. In Japan, the term Voom wasn't used in any parts of the game, and it's quite unlikely that Japanese players would understand what this term meant. Instead, in the Japanese version is a recurring gag where females are described as bonkyubon. Bonkyubon is a Japanese mimetic term that can be broken down to bon, which can mean big, kyu, which can mean small, and then bon again. And so put them together and you have bonkyubon, meaning big, small, big. This is a term used to describe a curvy hourglass-like figure with a big bust, small waist, and then big hips. For instance, in early April of this year, Sumire Uesaka, who is a popular voice actor and singer, has released a song entitled Bonkyubon Wakare no Mono, and the song is all about being bonkyubon. So in all instances of Voom in the English version, bonkyubon is used instead, and aside from this, the translations are virtually identical to the English. The Japanese version of the game didn't have any voice acting unlike over in the West. However, this changed with the release of the much later 3DS version, and so now we can hear this line dubbed in Japanese as well.
Bon? Q? Na, style to kiku zo?
But that's not all. Bonkyubon was also used in other parts of the game where Voom wasn't over in the West, and like mentioned, is a much bigger reoccurring gag in the Japanese franchise ever since its appearance in the 8th game. In fact, there's even a whole Japanese wiki page devoted to appearances of bonkyubon in the series. Another instance where it appears in Dragon Quest VIII is in some hidden dialogue you can get right at the end of the game when introducing yourself to the Dragovian Council of Elders. Normally the dialogue will be the same when speaking to all of the characters. However, if you switch the field character to Jessica before talking to one of the elders, the dialogue will be drastically different. An elderly female council member somehow confuses Jessica for a male and says that she has grown into a fine young man. This then prompts Jessica to exclaim how she is a woman, and she explains to quote, "I've got and I haven't got, I mean there are obvious differences." In the Japanese version though, bonkyubon is once again mentioned, with Jessica instead saying to the elderly lady, "Can you not see this bonkyubon?" which is of course course referring to her feminine figure. The term has also appeared in the latest game in the series, Dragon Quest XI, and the Japanese exclusive 3DS version. In the 3DS release is a number of post-game areas where you can revisit some of the areas and characters from previous Dragon Quest games. The Dragon Quest VIII area features a side quest involving collecting various books for Jessica's mother in order to improve Jessica's personality. One of these books is an ecchi nahon, which translates in English to an erotic book, and then when you give this book to Jessica, she transforms into an exaggerated, humorous and erotic personality, where she once again starts to proudly talk about her Bonkyubon. What do you think about how the English localization of Dragon Quest VIII handled Bonkyubon, and how do you feel about it being more of a recurring part of the franchise over in Japan? As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and consider subscribing to see more videos on regional differences in video games. Until next time, thank you for watching.